That's why you go through camp. You know, part of camp is being able to go through the ups and the downs and learning each other and learning what everyone can do. But you know, right now we've got a lot of excitement, you know, as far as within our organization, not only with the team that we have, but the new ownership and everything. I think there's a lot of excitement around the DC area. So we're anxious to get it going. That's one of the reasons that we decided to go at 12:01. We wanted to go as quick as we could.
Clip, we just heard from Gil for the first time in essentially 9 months, and he had a markedly serious demeanor about him and face on and no smile that we're accustomed to seeing. What's your estimation of how he is, where he's at, and how he's carrying himself?
I think right now, I think he's by far in the best shape he's been probably in the last 3 years, as far as physically, both weight-wise, how he looks, how his legs are. I think he's worked extremely hard. He's very focused. I think I know he wants to go out and improve a lot of things, and I think he's taken the right approach as far as a very serious approach, because you know, that's what we have to do as a team. You know, as far as, and I think he's knowing that, you know, there's a lot of excitement and just looking to move forward right now, you know, with the group that we have, with some good young players and with also some veteran players.
Fine line between serious and bitterness, and it almost seemed like, I mean, I don't want to pretend to know what's going on inside his head, but he came off as, I don't know, bitter, angry a little. I mean, do you feel any of that? Do you sense any of that?
No. I don't think anyone looked forward to talking to 50 people. You guys aren't the nicest guys, you know, so let's put everything in perspective. You know, so I think he's anxious like everybody else. He's anxious to step on the court tonight at 12:01 and start working and getting better. He's got a lot of things I think to prove to himself. And this also, you know, coming off, you know, his injuries and showing people, you know, how physically fit he is and ready to perform.
What do you expect the scrutiny on Gilbert to be a distraction at all in camp, and how will we handle it?
No, players, like I said, we're not talking about last year. We're moving forward. We're optimistic about the future and what it holds with both our veteran players and our young players, and I think that's how we're approaching it.
Is there anything in particular you're eager to see how it works once they get on the court? Anything in particular you're really eager to see once they get on the court?
I think we're in a lot better condition than we've been in the past. You know, last year, I think I'm anxious to see the type of condition, because we're going to have to, you know, one of our goals is to be one of the best conditioned teams in the league. And so I'm anxious to see how those guys respond to the practice that we will have. It'll be very grueling. And I think that I know that just watching our players and being around our players, spending a lot of time with these players, they're very much into both improvement individually, knowing that will help lead the team's success, and that they're very unselfish. And I think everyone is just anxious to see when you start performing now, you know, how John performs as far as how he makes everyone so much better, because that's the best thing that he does, his ability to make other players around him better players. And so I think everyone's looking forward to working with that and see how they really fit in.
How do you expect the chemistry between John and Gilbert to play out?
I don't think there's any pressure. There's been a lot talked about, you know, can you play, you know, guys like that, and you look at some of the better teams that played. You look at Detroit with Joe Dumars and Isaiah Thomas. Both those guys were maybe considered point guards, or guys that wanted to have the ball. And I think both these guys will, you know, they played a lot together over the last 3 weeks. There won't be any problems.
You haven't had a team this young since your Minnesota, very early Minnesota career. How do you prepare yourself to kind of win this kind of mix, which is, you know, you haven't had in quite some time?
Well, I think as a coach, you look forward to it because it gets you back to your roots. You know, one of our kind of saying is, you know, back to the basics, you know, with this team. And I think that as a coach, you like the idea to teach, to see guys improve and get better. And young teams have a tendency to be able to improve as far as their game physically. It's a matter of how they can approach things as far as mentally. And so I'm as excited as I've been in a long time about, you know, the way this team is, how they've approached things over these 3 weeks leading into camp as far as today.
Flip, you know, Gil a lot of times plays with the chip on his shoulder. He did that when he went to college and wore the number 0. Just talking to him gets the feeling that he sort of got a chip this year. And does that normally make him a better player, or do you care about that?
Well, I think he's going to always play within his character. You know, players that have chips on their shoulders a lot of times can't play better. Some of them can. You know, he's proving the ability to be able to play at a high level, and so I just know he's going to do the things that we ask him to do, as all the other players do. We're not going to ask any more of him than we ask from anybody else, but we're not going to ask any less. And this is not individually. It's a we and an us situation, and I know that at this point he's bought into that as everybody else has because they really don't have a choice.
So if he doesn't come across as fun-loving or smiling as we used to see, you don't care as long as that on the court he's doing what you want.
Well, how he is around you guys can be totally different how he is with us. As I said, you guys aren't the nicest people in the world.
But isn't that a
These
hard
guys-
thing to balance, to come off as being sullen and somber and serious in public, and then, I mean, we know he's a joyful guy.
I don't think he's going to be that, as maybe loose as he's ever been in the past. I think he's, as you get to a certain point in your career, there's certain things that become more important than other things. And I think in order to achieve some of the success that you want, you have to approach it as, times we got to get serious with things. And I think that's where he's at. He's very serious, and he's been serious in his approach in preseason. He's been very serious as far as what he's been as far as with his teammates. And I think, as anything, when players, as they are entertainers, and they get in front of crowds, the emotion will always take over the game. And he's going to still play with passion. That's one of the greatest things he has is his passion to play and to exceed at a high level.
I'll run some two-guard front with them this year.
I think we'll do both. One is, Gilbert has the ability to play off the ball so well because he can shoot it so well. That's one of the fallacies. Everyone's talked about those guys being able to play together, and I think some people fail to realize how great a shooter Gilbert is, catch and shoot. He can do both. But John is so good as far as with the ball and distributing. He's going to create a lot of open shots for Gilbert. And Gil has the ability to take some pressure off John at times when he needs to, along with, there'll be times we'll play those guys and Heinrich, all three of those guys together, because Heinrich, is by far is probably maybe our best defensive player as far as on the team, how he plays. And so, he's a guy that's going to have to be on the floor too.
So the cross matches potentially wouldn't bother you at the other end?
No, because their size, they're both over 6'4", wingspans of 6'10", so they're much bigger and very quick. Play strong, play a lot of zone, do a lot of things defensively, and we don't have a lot of guards in our league that are post-up guards, bigger guards. The only one I would say probably gives people more problems than anyone else is Steven Jackson when they play him with the two, because he's such a good post-up type player. But no, I don't see that being a problem.
With such superstars on your team, how are you going to keep them disciplined all the time?
Well, I think one, and John is that his personality too, and I think that as a team, we start things starting tonight in training camp as far as where our core covenants are, how we're going to play, and you either have to be in or out. You can't waver with that. So I think when players know expectations and what's expected of them, it's usually easy for them to follow in.
Flip, how excited are you for tonight? The Midnight Madness, all the atmosphere.
Yeah, I'm excited. It's really funny how it all started. The Midnight Madness was started because I had talked with Ernie a little bit initially. Is that so many times, especially when you have young players and you start training camp, you have your meeting at 6:30, 7 o'clock. The guys are so excited they don't get to sleep until 3 o'clock. And they're up at 6, so they get like 2.5, 3 hours sleep because they're in anticipation of wanting to go out and play. And I says, well, they're going to be up. Let's go, let them go play for an hour, get the anxiety out, and come back and have a great practice, the next day in the afternoon. So it was more set up to help the players kind of get over their anxiousness and to have, as I felt, a really good practice as far as tomorrow, as far as during the afternoon. So it's kind of taken out a little bit of life of its own. So, but I think it'll be good. We'll see. I don't know how many people we'll have. To me, that doesn't really matter. That's not the purpose of what we're doing here at 12:01. But I think there'll be some people out there, and they'll have a chance to see John and Gil and Heinrich and some of our good young players, and JaVale and Kevin and some of those players too.
You saw JaVale play this summer. What are your expectations this year?
Well, JaVale, one, he's gotten bigger, both height-wise. He's up to about 7'2", and he's gotten stronger. His biggest thing is for us to be effective, he's got to rebound for us. And I think he's done a better job of that. There's no question that the USA stint helped him, playing with those guys on a daily basis. But he's got to become a defensive rebounder. That's his biggest thing. If he does that, he's got a chance to have a huge impact for our team. Because if we can rebound the ball, with John's speed, Gilbert being able to get out and run Heinrich, Al Thornton, Josh Harwood, get him back, we're going to be able to get some easy buckets together.